Hello everyone, and welcome to my coloring corner. My brain is just not working today. Today is our collection choice of the week. This week is Amazon Basics. Oh my goodness, my brain is just everywhere. So the Amazon Basics are a very inexpensive set of colored pencils. They are actually really nice. They cover really well and they do color really nice. They are have been said to be a replacement possibility for the Prismas. So if you are on a fixed income or a fixed budget, you can definitely use these with your Prismas to extend the life of your pencils. Well, your expensive pencils anyway. So if you have large coverage areas and things like that, and you don't use a Prisma to fill that covered area, you can definitely use the Amazon Basics for that. As you can see, I've colored this here, the flower, as well as some of the butterfly. Let's finish up the butterfly here with some yellow. I've used some browns, blacks, and oranges. So I'm just going to finish that up with some yellow. And that's exactly what this is called, yellow. We're going to, of course, do our testing as well so that you can see how well they work. Now, because of the fact that I know that these work well with the Prismas and do have a lot of the Prismacolors, I will also be doing a check to see if you can replace those colors that Prisma is discontinuing, such as like right now we have the lavender and lilac that they are discontinuing. So we will go through and see if we can replace the lavender and lilac with the Amazon Basics. Now, of course, it won't be exact, but as long as we can get it close to the same coverage and the same color, um, like I said, these are a wax-based pencil, so you can extend the life of your Prisma by using the Amazon Basics, which let's take a look on Amazon. I do believe they're like $15. They're not very expensive at all. However, they may have gone up since I bought them. So let's check. Uh, so it's a 72 set. And well, they have gone up quite a bit since I bought them. So the full set of 72, which are currently unavailable, of course. Let's see. Why would they be unavailable? Of course they're unavailable. I'm doing a video on them. Ay, ay, ay. Of course, they are not light fast or um, that sort of thing. However, we will be doing a check on whether or not they're water resistant and if they're smudge resistant as well. We know that the Prisma is not smudge resistant, and I have moved Prismas with water. So let's take a look at that as well. So it seems that the 72 pack is currently unavailable. However, they do have the 48 count. And the reason why they're unavailable is probably because of the Prisma colors being similar to these colors and people replacing their Prismas or um, extending the life of their Prismas with the colors here. All right, so let's do some of the testing here. I'm going to throw you over to the close-up camera. We're going to grab our yellow, our red, and our blue, because there's actually yellow, red, and blue colored pencils here. So let's use the actual colored pencil names. So red, yellow, and blue. So we're going to start off with our yellow in our water test. And as you can see, I've got a really good long point on that, and it's not completely smushing down. So with the Prismas, you will find that you will smush a point. So these are a lot harder than the Prismas, but they are still very, very smooth and have a really good pigmentation. I'm just filling in the test area there with the yellow and the red. Coloring it just like I would if I was coloring a picture, making sure that I have the same amount of coverage that I would if I had a picture, if I was coloring in a picture. The reason I do this test is not because I paint over top of my colored pencils or anything like that. It is because I do use things that are water based, such as stickles and inks and that sort of thing to enhance my page, as well as to do backgrounds. And every once in a while I do use a watercolor for a background. So I need to know whether or not the colored pencil that I've put down, if it's in danger of moving while I'm doing other things. So that is why I do the testing that I do, so that I'm not moving it by accident by using something that's water based or water heavy, and B, so that I know when to burnish and when to use that blender pencil. Now the Caran d'Ache blender does an awesome job of sealing the colored pencil to the page so that you don't have to worry about it moving as much. Alright, I'm going to put this down on this smudge area as well, because why not? They're in my hand, might as well do it. So the reason why we're doing this video today is not because I just got the Amazon Basics. The Amazon Basics have been in my collection for a very long time. Like to a point where I just looked it up on Amazon and they cost me less than $10. They are more than $10 now. So prices go up constantly, and if people are choosing to use the Amazon Basics to replace or to extend the life of their Prismacolors, they are going to start selling out very quickly, as you have probably seen, and as I just saw with trying to look them up. They are going to become unavailable on Amazon until stock comes into place. Now, of course, your Amazon may be different than mine because it goes by distribution center. So the distribution center close to Oregon or in Oregon is currently out of the Amazon Basics. Now, somewhere in Maine, they may have a set of Amazon Basics, or they may just be out right across the entire company. So these are all things to think about when you're ordering things. All right, now I'm going to grab my water pen here, maybe if I can find it. This one has water in it. I'm going to make sure that you can see that there's water. And then we're going to move this around. So this is the yellow. And a little bit of movement there. I'll wipe that off. Do the red. Lots of movement there. And then the blue. And we've got good movement there too. So they do definitely move with water, so make sure that you seal your colored areas before you start using water on it. Now, I'm going to dry my hands off, make sure they're all dry so that I'm not adding water and making it streak. And then we're going to do our smudge test, so I'm going to put as much pressure as I can on it because I'm not typically pressing really hard with my hand. However, I'm going back and forth, which is activates it and moves it around. So definitely smudging going on all three colors. So be careful when you're coloring that you're not rubbing your hand back and forth too much on the colored areas. And of course, if you're going to use a water-based product, make sure that you seal your pencil first. Now we're going to do a three-color blend here. So we're going to use, let's use these three. So we're going to use coral red, hot pink, and rose. Well, let's not use rose. Let's use pink. Yeah, that's better. All right, so we're going to do a three-color blend here. So we're going to blend these together, creating a gradient blend. Again, you can either build up your color or you can put some pressure on the pencil and fill it in quickly. Now, I have found with the Amazon Basics that even when I put some pressure on, as long as I don't do a really, really heavy pressure, I can get that filled in with 2 or 3 passes and still add color to it if I need to. Okay, so we've got our tail going there. Now we're going to use our hot pink. We're going to go into our tail and bring it out. And then we're going to put in a new tail. And then we're going to go back over it here with our coral red, just blending that in and cleaning up the white spot in the tail, like so. And then we're going to take our lightest color, which is pink, and we're going to start into the tail here and build that color out. Now I can put a little bit of pressure on this and blend that together, or I can ease off the pressure and build the color. Either way works quite well with these pencils. Now we're just going to put in some more hot pink there to remove the white spot in the pink area. And build that color up. And again, just going to blend that together. So there we have it. There, as you can see, especially here, that color just blended right together. Same with over here, it's blending in. Now I'm just going to go over this area here a little bit more, just to cover up that white spot and so you can see the blend a little bit better. Like so. Alright, so it does blend quite nicely from one color to the other, creating a gradient effect, which is awesome. Alright, so now we're going to do our rainbow, which of course is going from red to yellow to blue and creating orange and green. So we're going to start with our red. I'm going to build up that red color and leave a tail. Now, as you can see, I'm just layering it up. I'm not forcing it down, although you can force it down and blend them together and get them to blend quite nicely. Sometimes doing that does cause issues with your paper, especially if you're trying to get several different color blends into one area. All right. Just blend that out a little bit more. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure because that's as many layers as I want to put down there. But I'm leaving this area here open for that orange. All right, now we're going to take our yellow. We're going to start here and we're going to move towards the red. First, let's do our area for our green, and then we're going to move into the red because the yellow is going to pick up some of that red and redistribute it into the yellow area. So if you're not careful, you can end up pulling all that red into your yellow, making it more orange than you want it to be. All right, then we're going to take our red and we're going to fill in the white spots. Building that orange color. So when you have more red than yellow, you have a red-orange. On this side here, we have more yellow than orange, so we're going to get more yellow than red, so we're going to get more of a yellow-orange. So that bright orange that we're always looking for when we think of orange. So we've built that up, and it did give us an orange as well as the yellow. So let's put some blue in there. Let's drag that out a little bit further. Then we're going to, doesn't matter with the blue because it's not going to pick up a lot of that yellow. It's just when you're working with light colors, you don't want to put a dark heavy color or a light color over top of a dark color first because you end up pulling it into your light color. If that makes sense. Same with the green. The more yellow you add, the lighter the green. So I'm just going to actually press on this, creating that blend. Of course, the more blue, the more of a sea green is your effect. Like so. And we definitely have green, and we definitely have blue. So I'm just going to put those in there. Just filling in. I want it neat and tidy. So definitely has a rainbow ability. Now we're going to use a blender pencil. So I've got my Caran d'Ache blender here as well as the white to blend. So we're going to take two colors that are close together but enough of a difference for you to see the blend. So we're going to take pink and rose. So we're going to start with the rose. I'm going to get a really good layer down. sure we put in a tail. Now with a blender, you have to have as much pigment on the page as you need for the color that you're choosing. Otherwise, the blender is going to pick up that pigment to try to fill in the holes of the white spot. And I think I'm just going to go a step lighter with some flesh as well. And see if we can pull that pink into the flesh tone here. Okay, so now typically what you would want to do is you would want to go light to dark on your blend. However, I want the colors to pull into each other this way from our dark to our light. So I'm just going to pull those down into our light tone here, our light color. And as you can see, it blended them together, pulled that color in to the other area. Now I'm going to grab the white pencil and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to actually, let's do a light to dark this time. So we're going to start with the peach tone here, the flesh tone, the flesh color. I'm going to put a good layer of that down. Should have actually gone with salmon, but that's okay. Salmon, as people say. And then we're going to go with the rose. Like so. And we're going to put our little tail there. And then we're going to go with the pink. Oh, I guess rose was the darkest color. Oops. Either which way, it's going to blend either which way. So it's not going to be a gradient blend, but we will get it to blend the colors together. Now, of course, remember when you use white on any blend, you are going to lessen the color of your pigmentation because the white will take it over a little bit. Now this white of course is not as white as a Prismacolor, but it does add that white to it. So unlike some other pencils, when you color over something with a white, it just doesn't seem to add any color. This will add some color to it. So if you can see here, this one here compared to this one here, this is much darker than this, and those are the same colors. And that's because I've added the white. All right, now I have the Prismacolor Comparison. So I've got the Prismacolors out, and we're going to compare the two Prismacolor colors that everybody is concerned about. So we have our Lilac and Lavender Prismacolors here. And then I'm going to pull the Lilac and Lavender in the Amazon Basics. Now, the colors for Lilac and Lavender for Prismacolors are slightly different. Okay, so I've got my swatch here as well for Lilac and Lavender. And those are very, very different than the purple Lilac and Lavender we have here. So I would suggest using Hydrangea Pink and Red Violet instead of the Lilac and Lavender. So let's grab those, Hydrangea Pink and Red Violet. Okay, and these are an old swatch, so it may be different. So I will do both, the lavender and lilac that comes in the Amazon Basics, plus the hydrangea and red violet, and we will compare them both against the Prismas. Okay, so let's start with the Prismacolor, and we're going to start with lilac. And I'm going to sharpen my Prisma because it's very short. So I'm going to grab this one. As you can tell, I have either enjoyed this lilac or I had breakage issues. More than likely, the latter. Okay, so here's lilac in the Prisma. Yeah, so as you can see, it breaks. So there's our lilac. And I'm just going to put a couple of layers down, nice and thick. Now on either side of this, I'm going to add first the lilac that says it's lilac from the Amazon Basic, and then the one that I think would be a comparable to lilac in the Amazon Basic. So that's lavender. So this is the one that says it's lavender or lilac, I mean. And as you can see, it's a lot bluer than the Prismacolor Lilac. It is definitely not the same color. However, there is a comparable, and we're going to use that next. So the comparable, again, I'm going to take my little lavender or my little lilac, and I'm going to run it down here, and I do believe the comparable is red violet. So let's try that instead. So on this side, we're going to use red violet, and we'll see if it is a good match. So I'm going to put down enough layers, the same as I did with the Prisma. And it's close, but it's still a little too red. So that is definitely not a good match for that. What other ones do we have here? Yeah. Red violet was the closest. Wonder if violet would be close. So definitely not the lavender or the red violet. What about hydrangea pink? No, that's definitely too pink. Alright, so let's try. We're going to try a couple of different ones here, trying to see which one matches. So here is violet, and I'm going to go right above it. Oh, violet. Violet matches it quite well. It's a little darker, but you can definitely lighten up your hand and add some white. But one-on-one, you know, if you're just using the one color and don't want to add anything to it, it's too dark, but it's very close. So if I was to blend that with the white, I would be able to get it almost dead on color-wise. So you can use the violet plus white to get an exact match. Now, as you can see, I rubbed my hand on that. See all the smudging? That's because I rubbed my hand on it. All right, so the next one is lavender. So that's lilac, which to make lilac you would use your violet and your white. And even then it's still a little bit different. Of course, they are different compositions, they're different pigments, they're different pencils. So there's never going to be an exact match for your Prisma lavender and violet, or lavender and lilac, I mean. But if you can get it fairly close with another pencil, then all you have to do is add a little bit of your pencil color, which is of course your either your lavender or your lilac if you still have any. You can add a little bit of that pencil color to your mix up there. All right, so we're going to put lavender here first, and then we'll put what I think is the comparable here, and then we will see if we can find something that matches if these don't. So we're going to, you know what I just did? No, that's lavender, so I need lavender. Pulled the wrong pencil, I think. Nope, it's right here. It is right here. There we go. I got it. Alright, so this is the one that says it's lavender. And we're going to do that on this side. And as you can see, it's too blue. There's too much blue in the mix for it to be a match to that lavender. So this one here is hydrangea pink. And even though it's close, it's got too much red in it. So let's see what we can find that's closer, if anything. So as you can see there, that's got too much pink, that's got too much red, and that's got too much blue. So as you can tell so far, color for color with color name don't match. That's the color lilac. No, this is lilac, which is in the Amazon Basics. This is the Prismacolor Lilac, and this one here is Red Violet, which I thought was close, but it's not quite close enough. We did find that the violet and white does bring you a little bit closer. However, with the lavender, this is lavender for the Amazon Basics. This is lavender from your Prismacolor, and this is what I thought was close. It's a little too pink. So let's see if we can find something else that is maybe Claret. Maybe we'll try Claret there. Where's Claret? I think she up here in the front somewhere. It's coral. Carmine. Is this one Claret? Yep. So this one's called Claret, and I think it's going to be too red. Oh, yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit too red, so that's not going to work either. So let's try this one here just for the fun of it. Oh, we've already used violet. That's not the right one. Let's go. I think maroon is also too red. Yeah, way too red. So I'm not coming across an exact comparable for this. So let's try putting a little bit of white in the or maybe we'll try the red violet too. No, I think that's too brown. Yeah, so I'm not finding an exact match for the lavender pencil in the Amazon Basics. So will they blend well with your Prismas? Absolutely. As you can see, I have been able to blend those colors together and be able to work with them together. So for example, this is the Prismacolor, and I know people are probably having a heart attack right now. And then I'll put a darker Amazon Basics on it. So the darker color is the Amazon Basics. The lighter color is the Prisma. And these are the Prisma Premiers, of course. And now we're going to go over top of it all with the Prisma and blend it all together. I'm going in the opposite direction than the first layer. What this does is it gives you a better coverage as well as a better blend. And I'm using a little bit of pressure to move those colors together because that's how you have to blend with Prismas. Well, you don't have to, it just works really well. So as you can see, I can move those together with just the pencils and create that blend. And if you put a little bit of pressure on it, you can do it the other way as well and add that Amazon Basic to the Prisma just as easily. All right. So those are the Amazon Basics. Now I will not say that there is a comparable I would not say that there is a complete comparable for either lilac or lavender in this set. Yes, they have the lilac and the lavender names. However, this is the Prisma. This is the Amazon. This is the Prisma. And this is the Amazon. So as you can see, they're not even close. Oh, and actually this is the Amazon Lilac. That was a red violet. So that's the Amazon Lilac. That's the Prismacolor Lilac. That's the Prismacolor Lavender, and that's the Amazon Lavender. It's two blue here and two blue here. So definitely, even though they do play well, very well together, and they do give you a fantastic blend, I would use them to extend your pencil life a little bit. I was able to create something close to lavender, or lilac, I mean, with the violet and the white. Haven't found anything that's really going to create the lavender. Maybe the lavender and the pink tone that I used there to create that lavender. But again, every colored pencil set is different. Every mixture and blend that they have is different. So unless you have a colored pencil set that are created in the exact same factory, in the exact same town, with the exact same batch of pigment, you're sometimes going to have difficulties matching those colors. You can get close, but you will never, you know, you technically should not be able to get exact unless, like I said, they're made from the exact same batch of pigment and manufacturing. All right, so that is our Amazon Basics. We will be coloring with these for the entire week. I'm going to switch it back over to the main camera. So we will be coloring with these for the entire week on some of Ruth Sanderson's work. I have spoken to her, and she is going through her schedule, so we will have our visitor, yay, sometime this month, which just thrills me all to bits. This evening we will, of course, be doing our Art Matters. I will be doing that with the Amazon Basics, as well as doing a selection for our new picture, because we didn't pick a new picture on Saturday because of all the things that was going on. So we will pick a new picture and we will get started on that with the Amazon Basics. Hope to see you there. Tonight will be a live stream as usual at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. Not only does this help us out with our own self-esteem, but it also helps us out with our YouTube analytics, which means that they send more people over to say hello because other people like us. And with that, all I ever have to say at the end of every video is always, and I will never change this, by the way, just so you know, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye-bye for now.